newspapers. These were of various dates from early August onwards. The most recent was the Sunday Graphic of September the 15th, just a fortnight prior to their discovery. Scotland Yard's Black Museum still holds copies of the fragments of that Sunday Graphic. There's part of the front page, numbered and dated September the 15th, 1935. It seems the great attraction was Lady Londonderry's frank memoirs. One of the other scraps is torn from an inside page. There's half a photograph of a line of young women, and what's left of the headline, which reads AMBE''S, Carnival Queen Crowned. That headline was to save the police months of sifting through files of missing persons. To return to the trial.
I am Edwin Vaughan Morris. I am circulation manager of the Sunday Graphic and News newspaper. The sections of newspaper shown to me are from a special slip or local edition of the Sunday Graphic of the 15th of September 1935, of which 3,700 copies were printed. They were circulated only in Morecambe, Lancaster and the immediate vicinity, and they contain photographs of the crowning of Morecambe's Carnival Queen.
At once the investigation shifted to Morecambe, the seaside resort, and the nearby ancient town of Lancaster, which in 1935 had 40,000 inhabitants. Among them was an Indian doctor, probably the only Indian doctor in Lancaster at that time. He lived in a dour, three-storey, respectable, stone-fronted house at No. 2 Dalton Square. He was, by all accounts, an able general practitioner and popular with his patients, but recently the doctor, whose name was Buck Ruxton, had been behaving rather strangely, as reported by a detective called John Thomas Moffat.
I'm a detective inspector in the Lancashire County Constabulary stationed at Blackburn. On September the 24th, I was in the Lancaster police office investigating the death of a Mrs. Smalley. One of those I interviewed was Mrs. Kerwin, who works part-time for Dr. Ruxton. Between 3 and 4 in the afternoon, Dr. Ruxton himself came to the police station, though I had not requested to see him.
Look here, Inspector Moffat. What the hell do the police want making inquiries about my private affairs for? I do not know Mrs. Smalley. I have enough trouble on my mind. Come across and search my house and interview the whole damn lot of us. It is nothing but professional jealousy. I am the most progressive doctor in this town. I have over 2,000 patients on my panel, and every doctor is jealous of me.
At that point, he held up his hand. His little finger was severely bandaged, and the bandage twisted round his hand at the same time.
Look at my finger. I cut that and almost severed it with a fruit tin I was opening for my children last week. I'm the most miserable man on earth. My wife leaves me. Now you come bothering me. I come home from visiting my patients a fortnight ago. I go to my study and call her name. No answer. I go to her room. I find a note. It says, "I am going away, don't worry." Leaves me with 3 kids crying for their mother, and I do not know where she is. I know nothing about Mrs. Smalley. It is professional jealousy. And you will hear more about it.
Nobody had ever imagined him to be involved in Mrs. Smalley's death. But it was true, Dr. Ruxton's wife had disappeared. Except that she wasn't his wife, they were never married. And it wasn't a fortnight before, but only a week ago, the day Dr. Ruxton had cut his hand, September the 15th. And on the same day, their maidservant, Mary Rogerson, had also disappeared. She was 20. She always visited her father and her stepmother in Morecambe every weekend. On October the 1st, when she'd failed to visit them for 3 weekends running, they informed the police.
My name is Agnes Oxley, and I'm employed as charwoman at the Ruxtons. It was some time after the 2 women had disappeared that the doctor, who was in bed, called me to his bedside. He asked me to sit down, and he read out an account of the Ravine murder in the Daily Express. He said, "So you see, Mrs. Oxley, it is a man and a woman. It's not our 2. I replied that I hoped not. He then began to laugh.
On the 11th of October, Dr. Ruxton finally went to see Captain Vann, the Chief Constable of Lancaster, to report his wife missing. Later he returned with a copy of the Daily Express, which had continued covering the story, and he even mentioned the missing Mary Rogerson.
Look here,